Fight week, we have a massive pay-per-view this weekend. Finally, as fans, we will get to feast on some good MMA action this weekend in the UFC, and I will be going through some big interactions we've seen this week leading up to fight week, breaking down my opinion on the co-main event and matchmaking, and also going through a couple things I want to add on about the new UFC TV deal with Paramount and CBS. And now we have giant news about the fight between Dricus Du Plesis and Khamzat Chimaev. Now, I'm guessing if you love MMA and the UFC as much as me, you've been on X/Twitter and you have seen this video. And a lot of people are saying, man, Khamzat, big guy, just mog DDP. Now, most of y'all may not understand mogging. And I will be breaking down this video and explaining to you how Khamzat Chimaev has been sunned by our African king, Dricus Du Plesis, and why Dricus Du Plesis is the real mogger and Khamzat Chimaev was baited. He was baited by the alpha, and I will be revealing why Dricus was really the one who mogged and was not the one who was mogged. Now, let's roll the film real quick. I'll go ahead and mute it because can't really hear much anyways. Now, we have Khamzat Chimaev approaching Dricus. Dricus, of course, mind his own business stoically. Okay, now, let's break down that interaction right there. Now, everyone's, Khamzat's huge, man. Look at this guy. He's big. Now, Khamzat is closer to the camera, way closer to the camera, with the angles. Now, I'm not saying Khamzat's not big. Khamzat's a big fella. Big Czech. Big Chechnyan, not Czech. Big Chechnyan. Big difference there. However, as you break this down, you notice that Khamzat is the insecure one and feels like he has to approach Dricus. Now, Dricus was being there, dripped out in some Air Force Ones with his shades and did not feel threatened whatsoever and stood his base. He was based. He stood his base. And also, you notice that he was being very stoic. He was just chatting. He probably seen Khamzat out of the corner of his eye and didn't even think a single thing about it. Because Dricus is our African king. Now, let's roll the footage and break down this further. Now, if that is not a clear sign of Dricus mogging Khamzat, I don't know what is. Because obviously he just got little buddied with a little shoulder tap. Like, oh, good luck this weekend, pal. Now, that is true mogging. Now, I know a lot of people define mogging as just coming over and being bigger and staying in your base and looking more jacked, more physically gifted, more physically dominant. However, that is true mental mogging by Dricus Du Plesis right there with the little buddy tap on the shoulder. Let's roll the footage. And look at him just smiling. And also, he initiates the fist bump. And look at Khamzat. He walks away defeated, head down and smirking because he doesn't know what to do. He thought he'd go over there and intimidate our African king, Dricus Du Plesis, and that is not what happened. So the official narrative is DDP mongs Khamzat. Khamzat almost said something else that Colby Covington said. But as you can see from the footage, DDP clearly mogs the Chechnyan. And guys, I just got to say we love this. Give it up for Dricus. Now, I want to get into a couple of things I've seen on Twitter about this fight. Now, I just thought this was funny and interesting. So we had Marab beating Umar. We had Bryce beating Saeed. We had MVP beating Shara. And we're beating these Dagestanis. The crotch sniffers. The leg humpers. We are beating them. We will defeat the Dagestanis. We will defeat the boring wrestling style. We will beat Khamzat, and we will beat Islam. Now, if Dricus goes out there, which I think he will, prediction video coming later this week, goes out there and defeats Khamzat, we are one step closer to annihilating the Dagestanis. And I have to say, this gets me excited. This gets me excited. Yeah. Give it up for the guys. I thought this was just funny. I hadn't thought about that. Now, also, people forget, man. People do forget how much of a different fighter Dricus has been since he got the nose surgery. We used to see him huffing and puffing and looking like he was dog tired. Never once on Dricus's come up did I think his goofy fight style would be winning him title fight after title fight, and he has proved us all wrong, because I don't know how many people thought Dricus was actually going to go out there and become champion. Now, nobody thought Sean Strickland would either, and that kind of set up the perfect formula for the first fight, blah, blah, blah. But now Dricus is on his way to possibly being the middleweight GOAT with a win over Khamzat. There is a good argument for it due to the fact that Anderson Silva, one of my favorite fighters of all time, my favorite fighter growing up, he did not fight very good guys, sadly. I wish I could still call him a GOAT. I mean, he's a GOAT, but, he's not so. He just keeps falling down the GOAT list. It's sad, but we do like our African King rising on the GOAT list. Now, let me make sure. Also thought this. I think this is a good point into why Dricus is going to win this fight. He states that I'm not going out there to survive anything. I'm going there to hunt. I'm a hunter. I'm not a survivor. I'm going out there to flourish from the first second to the last. I'm there to win the most in the most spectacular fashion. Now, every guy that's fought Khamzat and in the guys in the future he fights, they come out there not in that mentality at all. They feel like they are the hunted. And now this is why I think Dricus is going to go out there and get it done, guys. He's going in there as a hunter. He's not going in there worried about being taken down. He's not going in there worrying about Khamzat, just his aura. Dricus knows he has aura. Our African King has aura. Now, and I think this mentality, and he not only the mentality, but he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight like these words he's saying. He's gonna fight like that, and I think that's what's gonna lead in victory. He may get smashed in the first round, but after that, he's just gonna keep coming. He's just gonna keep coming forward. I mean, I think we see multiple takedown attempts from Dricus, and I think he's gonna wear him out. And now I don't want to get too much into the breakdown, so I can have some content later this week and doing the full nitty-gritty breakdown and analysis for this upcoming pay-per-view that I'm very excited for, and I know the whole community is, man. But man, I just seeing stuff like that is very encouraging, I think, and I'm really excited for this main event. It's a big main event. Now, next point I wanted to make in this video. I wanted to talk about this fight, not so much the breakdown yet. I'm going to review a couple more Aaron Pico fights, not going to lie. I maybe watched 2 Bellator events in my life, and I think it was probably just the main event too, can't even remember. But I wanted to talk about the fact that this is a co-main event and how utterly disgusting that truly is. With Lerone Murphy, a good fighter, possibly a championship level fighter in Lerone Murphy, taking on a debutant Bellator boy. And I've watched a little bit of Pico so far, and he is exciting. Don't get me wrong. It's a cool fight style, explosive wrestler. His hands are pretty quick. I think it's a bit of an older one. His footwork is lacking big time, and he doesn't move his head very well. But, not to get into the breakdown, but the fact that this is a co-main event really puts a bad feeling in your stomach. The fact that I'm not so entertaining, and we don't know for sure yet how good he's going to be, a guy in Lerone Murphy, against a Bellator debutant in Aaron Pico that's not a superstar. I don't know why. Oh, sorry, I was burping. I don't know why Dana in the UFC thinks this guy's some big star or something. And I don't understand the placement. Main card. It's interesting. I do like the signing of Bellator guys. Not because I necessarily think they're going to be world beaters, but it is interesting. They deserve a shot, I do think, and I think it's great for the discourse, and just it's just another storyline to see, how good are these guys, in just more drama into, the respective weight class. And the fact you have a fight like Carlos Prates and Jeff Neal, which maybe name value is not huge, but that's your co-main event. This is not your co-main event. Add it to the card, add it to the main card. Yes, great. I'm excited for this fight. Interested to see what Pico does. Interested to see how Lerone goes against a guy as explosive as Pico. However, co-main event is not It's not it, man. Because you're gonna watch that Jeff Neal, and I would even like Cannonier and MVP is a better co-main event than this. This is just not a co-main event. There's no real hype behind it unless, and like I'm not even hyped for it. I'm interested, but I'm not hyped. I'm hyped for the Prots and Jeff Neal fight, and if you're somewhat of a hardcore fan, you're pretty hyped for that fight. I think people are even hyped about the Cannonier MVP fight, which I think's I'll break down that fight and why I think it'll be a snooze fest later. But the fact this is a co-main event, and what I said yesterday about the UFC matchmaking and where the sport is going in general and how Dana is currently running the UFC, I see this as another sign that our sport is deteriorating, and it makes me quite sad to see it. Moving on, let's see. I just thought this was funny and relatable. Smoking cigarettes is a great way of cutting weight because that nicotine and tobacco is going to numb that sense of hunger. And I love the fact that Protz is like, man, I can't eat pizza all day, so I'm smoking packs, dog. And I think that's why we still like Protz, even though John Silva and Braulio kind of too. They're kind of ruining like the whole Fighting Nerds TikTok edit stuff. But I feel like everyone's still rocking with Protz. I know he got beat by Gary, but he's still a very exciting fighter. And, I mean, stuff like this just makes you like him even more. I mean, he likes to smoke before he goes in the stadium because he can't smoke in the locker room. So, I mean, why wouldn't you have a couple cigs before you enter the locker room? That's a good... I don't know why everyone's not doing this, guys. This is awesome. And it makes me even more confident in this. In that... Oh, wait. I don't want to give up the pick quite yet. Anyways, we'll move on to some other stuff. I totally agree with this statement. The fighters won't get pay-per-view points anymore. Good. Everyone's paid by 75%. Enough of these guys sitting out for 16 months. They shouldn't be able to afford that. 3 fights a year from everyone should be the bare minimum to survive. I love that. The fact we have a guy like Armin currently, and plenty of top-ranked guys are just sitting out all the time, and everyone's complaining about this fighter pay stuff. You got to go do your job. You get matched up with a guy, and you fight for your position in the rankings and for a potential title shot and to advance your career. That's the whole point of the sport. You don't sit out for favorable matchups. You're not doing your job. Why should you be paid more? Because you are not making the company better. You are not improving yourself, your name value. I mean, there's so many reasons. Like, if you're working 6 hours a day and the company's not getting any better and you expect a raise, who on earth is giving that guy a raise, if you're not doing your job? And I think this whole fighter pay, like, yeah, they probably should be paid more, but also you should do your job, You should do your job, and Angela Hill shouldn't be making 6 figures for a fight, by the way. I just wanted to let that be known. That's pathetic. Anyways. Let me make sure. I said and predicted this yesterday. Dana said one-off pay-per-views for stars, and pay-per-view's not dead. And we knew this. We knew evil Dana. We knew the red tomato face Dana. We knew we were being goofballs by thinking the whole pay-per-view system was dead. And I knew this was coming at some point. He was going to say this. And like he's saying stars, it's going to be... He's going to, like, Kayla Harrison and Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes pay me $115 for this generational fight. And we're going to see stuff like this. And I'm telling you, we're going to see, with the 13 pay-per-views a year, we're going to see 6 to 7 pay-per-views with this deal. Maybe not the first year, but after that, I guarantee it, we'll see that. But maybe the cards will be better. Maybe we'll actually stack pay-per-views. So, I could live with it in that sense. But anyways, moving on to something kind of funny. Canadians still have to buy UFC pay-per-views even with this new deal. That's awesome because Canada sucks. Not all Canadians suck, but a lot of you do. A lot of Canadians suck. And I think that's great. You're still going to have to pay for the pay-per-view. Yeah, this is kind of a political statement, I guess. But yeah, Canada sucks, and I'm glad y'all still have to pay for pay-per-views, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. I've been bookmarking some tweets. Okay, and I wanted to end with this because I just think it's great. Kevin Vallejo's coming off a big win a couple weeks ago. We see holes in your game, Gene Silva. We see holes in your game, and we will beat Gene Silva. We will defeat the barking Brazilian. We will beat the Israeli shill. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. This is a bit of a quicker video out. I'm getting out today. I really just want to post every day this week, and I thought these tweets were interesting, and I kind of wanted to take advantage of the 319 fight week and the whole mogging situation. I mean, that was an important breakdown. The people have to know that Dricus was the mogger and not the mogged. So hope y'all enjoyed that analytical breakdown in that. We'll throw that up there. It's a funny picture. I like Stogies as well, Dana, but you suck at your job and you don't deserve one right now. Power slap sucks. But anyways, hope y'all guys enjoyed the video. There'll be another video out tomorrow. If for some reason I have viewers for this video, and let me know if you'd rather have the fight prediction video out tomorrow or out Thursday. Which one y'all would prefer, optimal viewing experience for my 2 viewers of the last video, if y'all would like to rewatch. But go follow me on Twitter, on X, Seeing All MMA, same deal. I hope y'all guys enjoyed this video. I hope this one was a little more fun than usual. I'm proud of myself. I haven't been cussing in my videos, doing the Lord's work right there. But guys, I'm excited for this weekend. It's UFC pay-per-view week. Big news just circulating the MMA nanosphere right now. And the boys are eating this weekend. UFC pay-per-view, UFC 319. The Mogger himself, the African King DDP, we will beat Khamzat Chimaev. We will do that. Please like and subscribe. Really enjoy making these videos. Hope at some point I get some viewers watching this, and I hope they enjoy these videos as well, because I just love this sport and I'm super passionate about it. Until next time, I'll see y'all next time. Until next time.